going to be able to find him in the trees, take him down. They're getting the kills, Ivy, but they are doing their best as well here in the mid to try and reduce the amount that MTD can do to the tower.
I love
still
that.
a lot of damage done.
The Gork chat wheel is perfect there. You know, the 5 positions not in the lane. Never lean lane on 5 right after they kill him. I like it. And they got a really good play there from Cube again. He just surrounded him and got the toss, actually, even though he's on Treants. And now they actually have Arcane Boots bottom. So they have the constant threat to be able to go for these plays. So yeah, I think LeBron, you can't leave lane. If you leave lane, Pleb's going to start having some difficulties. Up top.
So look at the spear connection into the cookie. Not quite enough burst, though, to take down PO65. As Heaven will actually die for that attempt.
Alrighty.
So Ivy getting another kill. Now to a 1k lead.
Doing quite well in lanes, honestly. Even top lane, they're going again for Melas.
No, they really are. Past the tier 1, bullying Melas all the way back out. It's got a few 1 charges, and they know that, so they won't push their luck any further.
Able to actually get some decent harassment out. Melas opting for boots, opting for all these small items. Boots, Wraith Band, Raindrop, and upgraded Wand. Has no actual HP regen, so is constantly sitting a little bit low. Nicely done so far from Ivy in these lanes. Did not expect them to do as well in the top lane in particular. Bottom I can always see being a little volatile because the tossback plays, but okay, pretty good. And level 5 already on the Tiny, so Cube, he even still has constant kill threat. If either one of them steps up too far.
Absolutely, yeah. LeBron's got to be cautious, and obviously as a clock, he wants to kind of get in there and close to them to start harassing them away from Little Pleb, so Little Pleb gets the space, but knows that at this stage he'll risk his life if he steps up.
Yeah, he should just, I think as LeBron, just stay out of XP range right now. Give Little Pleb level 6 so you can start making threats on the other side of the map, but still play in the area. You just don't want to move don't want to be too close to him. MTD constantly trying to pressure this mid tower. Exorcisms at the ready. They're trying to force some reactions. And PO now has just opted to go jungle. The treads are finished up. Falcon Blade. He's giving the lane to his Phoenix to get some levels. Another ult. Exo. So now LeBron, he is making the way out of bottom. Lil Pleb's going to jungle. And now with Exo and a Wrath of Nature, they can even TP the Nature's Prophet. This tower looks pretty dead.
Yeah, there's no holding this for Ivy. They won't even try, not bringing in any extra members this time round. They'll let the tower go down, so MTD will be very happy with the timing there of that tier 1 mid.
There's going to be a Wrath that comes out in a second. He keeps vision, gets some decent bounces. Oh! The stick and the fairy fire before it hits him.
Yeah, but very well done with the way he lined up the bounces. They'll still send the treants in, but
the
Cute
rocket
will be fine. Oh! Weren't enough. It was close. They're trying everything there to take Cube down, but Cube will live.
And now he's got Tranquil Boots picking back up, so he should be alright. And now top though, JM.
Well, that'll be able to chain stun him there. Oh, maybe not enough.
Oh my god.
He's actually going to be able to get away. Dives out. Not enough damage in those little shredder right clicks to finish him, and JM will live. Meanwhile, though, the rest of his team not so fortunate, as Cube and PO65 get taken out. Little Pleb getting active across the map. Same to be with MTD is that straight away from taking down that mid-tier 1. They'll look to focus onto the tier 1 top, so starting to get some of this pressure on here, Ancient Tribe.
Yeah, they're picking up the pace a little bit here, but Ivy done very well throughout the lanes. JM might get brought down here. Very well. Alright, stays a little too far up. Either way, they do get bottom tower. Brood starting to do Brood things where he's starting to even envelop toward mid lane with a coil.
Well, and yeah, but the spider's in. More than enough damage to take down Heaven.
And some good tower damage here. Are they gonna? Do they have somebody that can react? Mela's ported bottom, so he's actually gonna be late to the mid lane, and he has to always follow where this Brood is. So yeah, he's actually just gonna continue staying bottom. They're probably gonna lose mid tower off this.
No, I think
that's
so. That's
pretty huge for Ivy.
Nature's Wrath will clear out a few spiders, but still has enough around to continue this. We'll see top lane. The tower might fall, but they want to try and take a fight here, Ivy, despite no longer having the tier 1. Supernova's out to the side. Little Pleb, he's going to TP out. He'll make it away. As LeBron will be the one to get caught. Both cores able to get out alive.
Pretty good. I'd still say for Ivy. I mean, I cannot believe they can just swing to mid tower like that with the Brood. Own me. Taking over the map quickly, and now they can even potentially look for Little Pleb in a lot of situations. Tier 2 mid.
And they're diving in. See Heaven coming with a cookie to separate him from the aggression of the pup. See Malaysia has got the arena. he wants to try and catch the spider. He'll attempt it. And they have got great patience there to get the angle with the spear. Sets up for the kisses to come in, take down the spider. Nice wrap around there from Melez.
They have a lot. I don't even think this is any beef or anything like that. They're both very chatty. You know, in the lobby, they're both chatting up each other a lot, saying all these funny things, constantly tipping each other now as the game's going on. So this is a fun game. 5-7, pretty good so far from Ivy. All things considered, I think they did a bit better than I'd expected out of the lanes. Now it's going to turn into, let's see what the Mirana is going to be able to do. Once everything starts kicking off, these fights start kicking together, how much is she going to be able to provide?
Yeah, I mean, what we got? There's a Maelstrom into the BKB, so not the Gleipnir rush that we thought may have been happening, but maybe considering the state of the game in terms of how close it feels. Obviously, the BKB is going to be feeling pretty necessary. The amount of catch they can drop down, the silences the Death Prophet's going to be throwing out.
Absolutely. I don't think you can deviate too much on carry Mirana. I think most of these safe lane carries kind of have, you know, your BKB Gleipnir kind of builds as bottom. On me.
Well, see the TP's coming in. Onme's already out. Backup's in from Mobile. Has got Dream Coil if they find a chance to jump. Of course, MTD's got the ghosts up and flying around, so might not be too appealing trying to fight into this Death Prophet for the next few seconds.
Not quite enough burst. Cube with a very nice avalanche there. Stops LeBron from getting cogs off. So Exorcism, it's going to be pretty much fully wasted here.
We'll be able to clear out the spiders though, Melez. So that'll pretty much give them the money to get this Blink Dagger complete. So good timing on that one. They'll have that solid catch to trap the spider and of course threaten the Mirana here in the pre-BKB timing. If PO65 does end up turning up to fights before he has it finished.
Yeah, this is a big timing. Protecting, like you said, you know, catching the Mirana stuff like that, and then protecting his cores. Allowing Snap to set up for ult, allowing DP to kind of keep people involved, yeah. Very good timing from Melez. Now it's a little harder, I'd say, for OwnMe to really start shrinking the map by any means. Arrow connection.
He's going to commit for this, and we'll get him there. LeBron goes back in with a hook shot. That's all he had to offer, but couldn't hit it off until those attacks had already started hitting.
That's a pretty big deal. Solo kill. The gold is, the gold's not bad, but it's the XP really the biggest thing. Quite a significant amount. It's like a full level for the Mirana. Now almost level 11. Maelstrom's done. Pretty decent so far. How's the supports levels looking like too? I mean, Cube still a bit under-leveled. JM near level 9. Okay, that's kind of a big deal. I mean, I feel like your Tiny wants a lot of levels this game just to be that burst threat. So you have like the follow-up with your Puck and Mirana, but opting to give the Phoenix more levels. Interesting.
They're going to get the setup here, bottom Cube. In with the avalanche toss onto Melez, trying to poke out a reaction from him. We'll get it. Arena's going to get laid down as well as the spear. And in fact, Heaven's in perfect position at the side to start laying down the kisses. OwnMe will get taken out. They'll pop the Supernova. They'll turn straight towards it. Little Shredders are already here from Heaven as they put the Supernova to an end. But Cube, he's actually going to be able to get the cleanup with Pia. It looked like Ancient Tribe were going to have that fight, being able to kill the spider and take down the egg. But we saw that Cube coming in and Pio with the damage. It's actually going to be Ivy cleaning up that fight. They take the 3 kills, they only lose the 2. In fact, Mobile, he's looking for more. He's got his eyes on MTD. Jumps in with the silence. PO65 and Cube again, the 2-man avalanche, locking them down and allowing them to kill off another. MTD falls. I mean, a fantastic fight there for PO65 to turn up to. And Cube making the magic happen on his Tiny.
Truly making the magic happen. They didn't commit everything onto him. They committed onto the Brood with the Snap Kisses fully. He lives and they just get, what, 2-3 sets of spells off. And yeah, perfect timing. Mirana just had Maelstrom finished. Now is the Ogre X toward that BKB. Alrighty.
Oh, very
Mirana's starting to work.
Yeah, PR65, top of the net worth here. Having a fantastic time and level 13. So, so far so good. And yeah, but once the BKB is done, it's just the hook shot. Everything else is not really going to be an issue as long as you can keep up with the position. We'll see bottom lane Q. We'll find the toss back onto Melez. OwnMe won't be able to do enough damage. Oh, he brings him very low, but doesn't want to dive for tier 2, of course. There's further backup coming in.
I mean, they're the ones constantly on the aggression. Like, Ivy's the one making the plays constantly. Ancient Tribe is totally on the back foot. They're not the ones setting tempo by any means. They're always just walking to where this Brood is pressuring, and Yeah, I feel like Ivy really dominating the map right now. Hastrun on the puck. Mobe going to go back and heal, and probably going to be able to continue putting this pressure on. Yeah, Ancient Tribes, they're in some trouble.
Absolutely, yeah. This is some good stuff from Ivy, and I can imagine once the BKB's done on Mirana, then PO65 will just always look for fights, right? That's sort of the end of the hitting the jungle creeps. He's got no reason to be afraid.
Yeah, he can just jump right in. He doesn't have to worry about the Mars. You know, the biggest fear is still getting caught by the initial stun of the Mars, but with BKB, as long as he's active, he can just commit. Melas, I feel like they have to start being a lot more active with this Mars. I feel like he can't actually show himself on these lanes. Sure, he's the brute answer, so it's kind of sometimes a little weird where he's like, I kind of have to, but I think every time he shows on the map, Ivy just can do whatever they want, so definitely some concerns right now.
Yeah, and I think the last few times, they've hit quite nice combos between the arena and the kisses, but they need that sort of +1 that they haven't had. You know, Little Pleb turned up that last time and gets caught in the avalanche. Ideally, you know, looking towards MTD turning up with the exorcism, and then but then between that, you know, trapping Ivy in the arena and getting in there with the exorcism and the kisses should have a pretty good solid job of securing a team fight. Yeah,
I think they just need the numbers. It maybe just going to take some more time, right? Pleb, as a Nature's Prophet, you're strong when your ult bounces well and you're able to get like cleanup kills, but until you have like an Atos Gleipnir, you're kind of just standing there in some fights. You don't really do too much damage. JM looks to be in trouble.
Should be able to get the angle easily with the hook shot. Oh, a little bit of miscommunication there. That's not how you gank the Phoenix, Fog.
No.
And meanwhile, Mobite, he's playing around with a couple of them over here. He's got Only and Coop swinging across. Spiders are in takedown heaven. Coop's in with the combo. Meles, he's in trouble. We'll try and push him back with the God's Rebuke. Gets the spear connection onto the Spider. But Coop and Mobite, they'll be able to continue in and take him down. Ancient Tribe there. Not looking as sort of well-oiled as we've used to seeing them in the other series. A bit rusty this game.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't see that little, I guess, not communicating and not noticing that NP's TPing right where he's hookshotting. They miss a kill. They do get the kill on PO in the meantime, though. I believe they did catch him with like a snap Mortimer Kisses plus Arena. So not as bad as it initially looks because of that missed kill top, but either way, losing more than they needed to and missing out on a freebie.
JM.
He's in trouble.
He's going to have PO65 here as well to chase down Little Pleb. That's Little Pleb gone. So straight as soon as he's back in the game there, PO65 getting involved in a big kill, taking down the enemy carry.
I mean, Pleb is 0-3 this game. Not something you see too often for these NP carries. Usually they have a pretty free game, then they start dying, maybe perhaps once they start showing up to more team fights. But he's just getting picked off. He's just dying constantly. He's really struggling.
And this is after having a pretty decent lane, right? It was a good start for him.
Yeah, I mean, he got eventually pushed out because he was versus that Brood, of course, but yeah, it was a very good lane. And now, Tiny has Blink Dagger, so easier access to just get on top of this Nature's Prophet. Definitely concerns for Ancient Tribe, unless they start getting team fights swinging together and actually looking at the team rather than individuals. This game could be problematic versus this Mirana carry.
No, absolutely, yeah, we're not seeing sort of the cohesion here that we expect normally from Ancient Tribe.
No.
A little bit... They're very separated with their plays so far, which is not going to cut it with the kind of lineup they're rolling here. They want to be taking these objectives, fighting as a group.
They just have difficulties catching the puck as well, too, right? Like, Mobe having such a good game, 2-0-2 with Blink. They don't have the best of kind of chain disables. They've got a hook shot and then a bonk back, and then they have to follow up perfectly with their stuns. Cube.
He just had to get the straight toss set up. Toss back into the Avalanche. The sun right there. Melis having to use the arena to try and protect himself, but he'll still end up going down. Juke, he's going to do his best to juke the Mortimer's Kisses. Will not manage to live, but it doesn't matter for Ivy because overall the rest of the team are cleaning up the kills. They get themselves a second. Little Pleb does TP in, gets into the back lines. He's TPing out. He's a little too scared of sticking around with the Spider and the Phoenix still alive. So we'll at least manage to make sure they get that second kill in return and get the 2-for-2 trade hit.
Again, though, it's Ivy making the moves, and it's Ancient Tribe having to react time and time again. Did he even have vision? I think maybe he got vision for a slight second of the Mars bottom, and then he did the toss through the tree line thing. That was really well played by Cube.
And here's the timing now for PS65. BKB is done.
Alrighty.
So he's going to be... He's already been very active, really. He's getting involved in these fights. Now he's got nothing to be scared of.
He's got the talent as well now, so he's got the 80 leap attack speed talent.
As the jump toss back cube. Quick catch. Sets up for the quick kill. On to Heaven.
Good scouting coming out from NOOB as well, sending the spiders to give all the information for his team. And yeah, so Mirana now level 15 with BKB with Maelstrom. This is the timing you go for with carrying Mirana. Ideally, of course, Gleipnir as well too, but yeah, you've got the leap attack speed talent, so you actually deal a lot of damage. And I see he's queuing up Shard next, so we'll have that extra leap charge as well.
Obviously the odds there provided by our partner esportsbet.io. Very much feeling that Ivy have the easier time this game, and certainly so far Ivy looking to just be a bit more on the same wavelength.
Look, they're getting a bottom tower. I mean, it's trade at the moment, but Ancient Tribe's not killing this too fast. They might, I mean, they're smoking over. Or scout.
See if they can time anything here in terms of Mobile's in, but he's not going to be able to get the steal. Radiant, they'll be able to take the kill, get the Aegis. It might get burst through. Indeed it does. So as quickly as it's picked up, they'll be able to take it out of the hands of Little Pleb. And they're going to look for round 2. Arrow able to hit nicely onto the back line. So not only will they kill Little Pleb, pretty much a max duration stun catches onto Heaven on this back line. He'll jump towards the high ground. But there's no way out for him here, as he'll end up getting taken out. And in fact, it's JM on the Phoenix getting an ultra kill. He's a rich Phoenix now. 2.4k. Yeah, he's instead of his little arms, he's queuing up the refresher orb after that one. As that's a whole lot of money here for the bird.
I mean, they just walk into the pit. Ancient Tribe, they go for like some very reckless play. They get scouted by Orb. Sure, you finish off the Roche, but you lose your tier 2 bottom, and you have to know that you're going to get wiped in that fight. If you use Exorcism to kill the Roche, and then there's just a Phoenix Egg, level 2, sitting on top of you. You're 3-man coiled, 3-man avalanched. A total disaster again for Ancient Tribe. It feels like they're in full desperation mode.
Yeah, just not looking to be on the same level that we've seen from them on other days. Just Ivy cruising over them so far.
Look at this arrow. I mean, it looks like it was meant to hit the Aegis. Probably was.
It works out.
Getting the snap.
You know what I mean? It works out better not hitting the Aegis, you know, because it means that they then get both kills.
Malice.
Yeah.
Bottom. And they're going to get another one. They're just... The cohesion on Ivy is...
It's good.
It's like 10 times better. Like, Ancient Tribe literally doesn't look like a team whatsoever now. Everyone's split up, doing kind of their own thing, getting picked off.
Which is strange, because they had a good start, right? They had a good start. They were hitting some Arena Kiss combos. They were taking a quick tier 1 mid. They went straight top, took another tier 1 tower. But ever since that, it's just been all downhill.
Yeah. I mean, Ivy's just owning the map completely. NOOB has... I mean, after him... He gets like that mid tower thing was the weirdest one for me, when he just walked mid and they didn't even try to hold it. So this Brood has kind of been able to make them keep reacting to him and make them just keep finding these opportunities for great team fights, great catch. Yeah, I mean, like you said, Vincento is pretty much a core now. He has almost the same net worth as the Mars.
Yeah, look how much money he's got. 3.3k gold he's holding on to. Could start investing in the refresher. I mean, we could maybe be considering other items, but obviously refresher, if he gets that at the timing that he could, with the amount of gold he's already built up, it's going to be a very, very quick and a very impactful refresher on this Phoenix.
Yeah. I mean, they can only kill one of those. I mean, they can barely kill the one egg. They have to have the snap there in order to even attempt to. Yeah, big problems for Ancient Tribe. I mean, they actually just have no ways to really threaten this Mirana by any means now with the BKB and everything finished. Like, they just have to run.
Actually, PR65, look at the aggression here. He's just leaping in at them all. He's got nothing to be fearful of at all. Gets a kill on Heaven here, Mobite.
He's playing it really well, the Mirana carry.
Yeah, it's working.
The itemization's great. I actually like that if he doesn't actually opt to go for Gleipnir, they don't need catch anymore, they just need damage, so I'm fine with him just going straight dataless. It's an insane amount of damage burst when you've got talent and your leap attack speed, so yeah, keep doing what you're doing, and for Ancient Tribe, they need to start getting things like just together as a team. They have to just start getting their spells, their spell combinations as a unit. See Cube for a second. But this Brood just starts pushing in lanes, and NOOB, yeah, constant distraction that they keep being pulled toward, and they're not even going to find him again. Oh, JM changed the build.
What's he spending his money on now?
He's queued up. I mean, it's probably the better support one, but come on, be greedy, you deserve it, you got an ultra kill.
I mean, that, yeah.
It's a great halberd
Having
game
that halberd, yeah, if he's
Fury.
able to sort of swoop in and get that disarm onto Little Pleb before Little Pleb pots BKB, it's going to make the profit carry feel pretty sad.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now they're just in a pretty comfortable position now on Ivy that they can go around and do. They can do so much. Like they can really just play. They can be with each other so fast because the way they close on each other. They have a gem, so they're taking out all the vision. They're scouting with spiders. Yeah, they're doing pretty much everything, and the Ancient Tribe can't find an opportunity to get themselves back in the game at all. They're scouted by spiders right away, and then they're the ones getting ran at.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, they're stepping up to this tier 1 top, Melez.
This could be a scary spot to be.
Yeah, Ivy, they're completely on this triangle right now, so very close and very able to start a fight. And we'll see Cube with the toss back. And Melez will put the BKB, but I don't think he's getting away. He'll get the arena off with his last breath. But that's the Mars out of the fight. Cube, he's heading straight towards Heaven, gets the toss back to put a stop to the kisses. Heaven will be able to cookie a little further away, but nothing that Mobile can't chase down with the orb, as it's 2 more dead. And again, Ancient Tribe just a bit all over the place.
The way they approach it too, right? They pop their BKBs totally in panic.
It's going to force the BKB here out of MTD.
Okay.
And MTD nearly has to pop it there, otherwise we'll be getting tossed back by the Tiny. Cube causing a lot of issues here for Ancient Tribe.
I mean, Ivy's just owning. Continues just to... They're doing pretty much anything they want on the map. Look at this. They might even just find Pleb here. They have this ward vision.
BKB's on
Pleb,
cooldown.
yeah. See you later. They're making it look easy now.
Oh, they really are. Smooth stuff here from Ivy, and as I said, very entertaining to see built around this carry Mirana that is absolutely working for them here today.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's looked great. Like he's pretty much been able to go around the map, do whatever he wants, join in, just get cleanup kills because of how well. Like his team is just playing so damn well. And yeah, Ancient Tribe, I'm just still seeing them. They're like clustered together, but they're so on the back foot now. It doesn't feel like they can make any aggressive play. They have no damage.
No, they don't. It's sort of that strong timing that their ults can blow up heroes. Feels like it's drifted away. It's gone beyond that. And they're playing from behind.
Yeah. Haven't been able to get those connections of the arenas with the DP, able to really get exorcism connections. It almost feels like ever this game. Hook shot off the mark.
And even if it hits, probably going to cause more issues for LeBron than for PO65.
Yeah, he'll just BKB and leap in, probably.
Yeah.
Level 20 now on the Mirana, so more damage being kicked in. One of the later damage talents, but relevant. Should be more, though. You know, SF gets a free 60. Mirana gets only 35. Sad. Arrow.
See LeBron try and get his way out of this. They've got the wrap around to the side. Lil Pleb, he's in with the Gleipnir, but the BKB's out from PO65. MTD trying to survive in the midst of the fight with the BKB, but they'll be able to take him out with the physical damage through it. Same to be said for Melez. This BKB is not going to keep him alive, as Ivy can easily battle through it. Only Little Pleb left alive. He's going to be lucky to dodge that avalanche that Cube nearly finds him with. It's 4 dead again on Ancient Tribe, and yeah, I just don't see how they can regain control of this game, Fog, considering the plays that we're seeing so far from them. This game 1 it's just not theirs.
No, definitely not. Like, they seem totally disconnected as well, too. Like, targeting is all over the place. Melez tried to blink and ult on top of the Phoenix, who just clicks egg, has no follow-up. I mean, at this point now, it's really difficult for them to ever connect with these type of plays, but they waited so long to really group up and look for it feels like, as Exorcism in that fight lasted for a total of 10 seconds, not even. Pleb trying to do something, but he does very little damage at this point.
Yeah, and they just can't catch these heroes. PO65, you know, many leaps to save himself and own me. This pipe and Greaves, he's just far too tanky. They just do not kill the spider. Got full Daedalus done now on PO65. He's going to be going for the refresher next. Double BKB and a bazillion leap charges.
I love it. Big fan if he actually goes for it. I mean, it looks really weird with his items anyway, but the leaps, it's all it's about.
The leaps, my man. Yeah.
That's all it's about.
Leaps.
Gives you all of them back. I mean, they're in a pretty comfortable spot that it feels like they can build a lot of items on, even the supports. I mean, JM is level 18, and he actually has almost enough gold for his refresher as well, too. Just quietly farming.
That's another one into the trees. They've got eyes on Heaven. And they've even got eyes on MTD. You'll put the BKB with the damage from this Mirana. It's fantastic here with the crits coming out. Honestly, this is... maybe avert your eyes if you're watching at home, because this game may tempt you to go queue up and play some carry Mirana. It's definitely one of those games that you're watching, you're going, you know what? This looks rather fun.
He played very well. I have to give the credit. He did great in lanes. The times that he showed up to the fights were crucial. Like him and Cupid just able to dominate.
He has got BKB if he's able to get it out between the stuns, and he is. So PO65, he's out and away. He's going to be more than fine. And indeed, after that initial jump from Ancient Tribe, they just don't have anything else to threaten anybody that gets caught in the arena. They're out. They're able to reset here. And they can look to go again whenever here, Ivy. 21k lead at the moment.
Yep. They're cruising. Mirana going to come walk back out. Vincenzo, when's he going to spend it? He's got Blink queued up too. But he's pretty much got full refresher.
So much money, yeah.
Oh, did he commit? He committed. All right, it's coming out.
Oh, he's got the recipe, yeah.
Yep, and he's going to probably get the mid-wave as well too. Or is Onmi going to take it? How rude. He's pretty much got it anyway. Yeah, massive. Everybody huge now at this point. Ancient Tribe probably have one fight left in them as MTD and Melez are both overtaken by the 5-position Phoenix.
I've got the next item done on Lil Pleb, Silver Edge, complete.
All right.
So a bit more damage.
Yeah, it's just him though. And he's a lot poorer than you usually see these carry nature's prophets. 2 and 5. Free Roche. Oh, PO changed.
No, I changed the Satanic.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't matter.
He can get the refresher after that. I mean, if the game's still going, which
please
at this pace probably won't be.
Don't tell me that.
Wait, what's wrong with it? It's better then. Then you get double Satanic
No, it's
as well.
I know. What I mean is, hopefully this game doesn't go that much longer. They should be able to close it out.
If by some miracle they're able to draw this game on here, Ancient Tribe. But it is indeed looking like, the Aegis in the hands of Ivy. This next push could be the last push.
Yeah.
Unless Ancient Tribe can do some sort of miraculous play.
Who's going to take the shard? Onmi's just carrying it. They don't have any good shard left, I don't think. Brood's is pretty horrible. Pucks is mediocre.
Yeah.
Tiny's is mediocre in the position that he's in.
Yes, because he's not some right click Tiny. No.
Yeah. Alright, Brood will take it. Why not? Onmi's like, yeah, I guess. Why not? I don't think I've ever seen anyone purchase this one.
Yeah, that's a weird shard.
Yeah.
So you're slowly increasing damage. I've never seen this one. I've never seen anyone take this.
There was a time when it first got added that if you had enough CDR, you actually could infinitely stack it. And it would give you
so you can make it continue to increase and increase and increase and increase.
But they fixed it. They fixed it almost right away. It was a funny one.
Wait, it's a lot though. I mean, that last second, you're going to be hitting like a truck.
Yeah, for one hit.
For one.
That was one really big attack.
You increase it by 12 every second. It lasts by 6. What's 16 times 12? It's like 192. So you get 192 like damage for 1 second, but bonus damage. That's a lot of bonus damage.
It's a lot for that one hit. Exorcism, MTD. They tried to get a grab. Exorcism down. Very difficult for them to fight even with the Exo, as we've seen. 110 seconds. Ivy. Anything they're waiting on? I guess looking like PO is probably making the call. I'll wait on my Satanic before we go. It's very close to it. Carry Mirana.
I mean, this is the great thing as well, but when you're able to show this as a team, is it's now something that the rest of the league and for the rest of this series, they've got to have in the back of their heads. They'll be like, well, are they going to bring out the carry Mirana on us? Is this Mirana that they've drafted? What position is it going to be in? Because Ivy very much showing that they'll put it in position 1 and PO65 will have a great game with it.
Nope, the jump.
Bye-bye. He's in. That's going to be a 3-man Dream Coil. Cube as well, looking for the combo to Melez, but we'll manage to get the BKB out here, Mars. Has to retreat up to the high ground. There's Ivy. Happy to dive in. The arena used defensively. Doesn't manage to trap anybody in it. And Melez nearly dying himself. Mobile's going to jump to the back lines, put an end to the kisses here with the silence. They'll take down LeBron. They'll take down Melez. They're going to use their buybacks here, Ancient Tribe. But can they even find 1 kill in return? They're going to look towards Mobile, but he's jumping all over the place with this Arcane Rune. They cannot control the puck. They can't push them off the barracks as Ivy will take the bottom set.
Alrighty. IFPO, I mean, just leaps into anybody. No fear whatsoever at this point. 35k gold lead. On to the next. Lil Pleb. Hello.
He's going to try and TP out, but there's the crit. There's the crit from PO. Takes him out. MTD goes down as well. Godlike on PO65. GG is called. And what a game one indeed here for Ivy. Looking fantastic. Doing it with the carry Mirana. And yeah, I think for Ancient Tribe, so just back to the drawing board. They've got to try and reset themselves because we know they can do better than this. We've seen a lot better today. This game one, they're just, I don't know, maybe they just woke up. It was just, it wasn't what we used to seeing from them.
No, they were all over the place, but a lot of credit have to be given to Ivy. You know, a bit of an unorthodox switch up, but either way, it was their plays that really determined everything. They were super oppressive, the way that they invaded the map. They took bottom tower super early. They swung, took mid tower, I believe, like 10, 12 minutes or something on the Brood, and then just kept playing aggressive. Cube sending some beautiful combos. The Miranda knows when to join in. And yeah, Ancient Tribe just felt like they just never found their cohesion. They just didn't play like a team at all. Got rolled over.
No, yeah, it was a rough game one. We'll see. And I imagine, you know, Ancient Tribe, as I say, we know they can pull out a much stronger showing than this. So game two, they should be able to step it up. Ivy, yeah, cruising with the opening to this series. Perfectly, you know, the amount of deaths they had between everyone. 4 heroes died twice. The Cube died 3 times. Like, it was very well controlled, that game. They just didn't lose anyone in solo at all, really. It was only deaths within fights that were always beneficial. So very impressive from Ivy. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to send you back to the panel. But as for game one, Ivy will take it against Ancient Tribe.
Mirana.
Mirana did it indeed. Fogged had no faith in this carry Mirana, but it turned out he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Turned out my panel didn't know what they were talking about either, because I was assured that this Ancient Tribe draft works cohesively, that these spells will come together in a beautiful concert of spells and damage. What the hell happened? How did this all go so south for the Ancient Tribe?
They didn't press their buttons, Chief, so we didn't get to see their draft really use their beautiful spells. No, okay. Jokes aside, though, I think Ivy, they just played a really clean game of Dota where they just utilized Brood to force Ancient Tribe to react a lot. And then when Ancient Tribe's draft is reacting and not setting the pace themselves, then we don't get to see that harmony of like Arena into Mortimer Kisses and Exos breaking down the map, because they're always just throwing out the spells like wildly under the aggression of Ivy. And it felt like after laning phase broke, it was Ancient Tribe just doing that the entire time. So we never got to see them kind of make a single move themselves in this game.
Kizu, when the draft was happening and you saw this Broodmother pick, you were wowed and you were like, this works perfectly for what Ivy should be able to do. And T makes a very good point. Over the first like 25 minutes of the game, pretty much every move that Ancient Tribe made on the map, outside of a pick off here and there, was towards the bottom side. They were trying to shove the Spider out of the game. And then we had this disastrous Roshan fight. This cannot feel good if you're in the team here. Not only you lose everything, you give an ultra kill to a Phoenix. At the same time, the Spider that you've been giving so much attention to still takes a pre-25 minute tier 2 anyway. Like, is there any comeback potential available for them at this stage in the game?
From the highlight you see here, there is some, but it's very slim. I do think most of the mistakes already happened prior in this game. I mean, you were already mentioning, when you play into this Brood and he's having such a good game, it's not very beneficial for you to just keep fighting in that area. Like, the way Ancient Tribe's lineup works is that ideally they want to be the ones initiating, like with an arena, follow up with the kisses, have your DP run in. But most of the fights they took were very reactionary. And after you mess up 1 or 2 of those, you should be playing a very flat map. Like, you need to fall back to a triple BKB timing and then fighting. But instead, I think Ivy just made it like very hard, the way that they always pushed. I feel like they kind of baited Ancient Tribe to keep fighting them in the areas where Brood was with her mech, early pipe, then Pio on his Mirana, he kept joining up. So I think this is perhaps the most well-deserved victory I've seen of a team that I think, you know, I didn't like their draft as much, but they made it come together beautifully and they played amazing.
One of the things that really stood out to me here, T, is not just that they played amazingly. It's the fact that up until this game, coming into it, Ivy was the least diverse team in terms of their hero selection. Here, they pick up hero player combinations that they've not done before in the DPC. You were mentioning that Pio hasn't played this Mirana in a month. Firstly, what do you make of them having the confidence to pick up heroes they don't always go for? And God, can we just talk about the Pure Mirana? It's the third Mirana in this DPC so far across both regions, the first win. But the nature of this win, T, the sixth fastest dataless all time on this hero, seventh fastest Satanic all time on this hero. Like, how are you supposed to deal with this if you're the side of Ancient Tribe here in this game?
I mean, I think for Ivy, you're talking about player hero combinations. It's at least these are all heroes that they played a lot, even if it's maybe not the one player on the same hero. It's like these are heroes that they understand as a team. So I think it's pretty interchangeable. These players are high enough skill to be able to go, you know what, I'm gonna take your Cube Phoenix and I'll throw it onto JMN, you know, like, so it's cool to see that. And yeah, for Pio, I think at least Ivy demonstrated that he could have been any carry in this game and they'd have probably had the same result. And the fact that he's able to play out of the box type of carry, it helps in the draft for sure. But I think it's just testament to how Ivy plays together around this Broodmother in the map. Like, we haven't really mentioned Puck at all in this game, but Puck was like, you go into DP but you don't care, you play with confidence, and it's just all of these things that boil down to PO65 being able to have such a comfortable game. And like, it's exciting to see because are there other heroes he wants to play in the carry role that are unconventional? Like, if Ivy can set the map up, then anything's possible.
Building on that particular point, Kezu, before we go into a quick break, as an off-lane player, if you owned me in this situation and you've only played 2 professional games of Brood, where on earth do you find the confidence to say, boys, this is the game, I guarantee it's going to work out this time around?
If you don't pick Brood there, you will never play it in your career. That was one of the most disgusting Brood picks I've seen. And I've said it once before, I would say that this hero it's become easier over time to play, especially due to the item builds. You don't need to be like some hard carry where you need to weave in and out of the fight and play well. No, you lane well, you buy your items, you tell your team, yo boys, come with me, let's go. I've got the auras for you, and yeah, I think you're just being chilling.
Certainly, a chilling spider just relaxing on the wall, being the major pest for the side here of Ancient Tribe, and they weren't able to squish the bug, so they get squished instead. Game number 1 goes the way of Ivy, and it's showing that those odds we came in at the beginning of the game with from esportsbet.io weren't necessarily as accurate as we might have believed, because the disparity between these two teams in Game 1 felt pretty large. And of course, as mentioned, those odds were brought to you by our partner esportsbet.io, and one of the interesting things that they are doing throughout this DPC tour is not simply allowing you to, you know, get involved, get your bets going, but your first bet, $100 risk-free. If you end up losing that bet, you get floated back $100 worth of USDT, and that'll ensure that you don't necessarily lose out. You don't feel your overall balance going down. So this is your opportunity to get involved with practically no risk involved if you lose. And of course, if you win, you just get your ample rewards. Going into game number 2, Steve, Ancient Tribe, you have a sort of draft. You have all the tools you need. You lead a draft where you put Ivy, quote unquote, in an uncomfortable position, and then you get stomped. Psychologically, as a coach, what would you be saying to the squad right now going into the second game?
I love it. This is what I'm here
great.
for, Snare. That's good. That was good. That was for the podcast memes. Honestly, for Ancient Tribe, they need to actually just draft themselves some stuff, or at least play with confidence in the laning phase, because it feels like they just don't have any confidence after lanes go a bit wrong to make the correct moves. You see LeBron, like, he dies in lane, he has this like physical like anguish of what he's done, and then that kind of boils into the next play where it's not like with logic, it's more with like the emotion of what's happening. So I think they just need to kind of have a full reset and try and just forget the first game happened, and also be the aggressors. Like, they can't just react. If they react, it's a 2-0. Thanks for playing, Ivy. You're going to progress further into the DPC.
Proactivity is what we would like to see from Ancient Tribe so that we have a competitive series. Of course, we'll find out if they are able to bounce back in due time, or if Ivy have unlocked the key to success here in game number 2 as well as in game 1. We'll be back shortly to continue the action here in Div 2 of the DPC, so don't go anywhere. Join us in a few minutes to continue the action. We'll see you soon.
Can we fight after?
I won't be in time with Blink, actually. Too slow, too
Fight
slow.
after. Just fight after.
Fight after. Yeah.
Something?
I'm piping. Fight. Yeah. They're feeding. Profit again. Kill Profit again. Don't let him TP out.
You cannot TP. Even BKB TP not possible.
Arrow snap. Insane arrow.
Oh no. He's out though. Okay, maybe not.
High five him. Okay, never mind.
I high-five you.
Auto kill 10 spammer.
welcome back one and all here to Division 2. We continue the hype here in the Western DPC, and Western Europe is heating up because Game 1, Ivy showed us that you don't have to go for a tried and true strategy. You can really go out of left field and still come away with the victory. Going into Game 2, Going into game number 2, Kezu,
Navi.
Ancient Tribe, they're in an awkward position, right? Because if they lose, that's it. No more Div 1 available for you. You're done. They're already down and out in that position, but now we're already getting into a situation of, are we in relegation territory? If they lose this game, they go bottom of the group at the moment. So talk to me about this. What do Ancient Tribe need to do draft-wise? Because Game 1, they targeted Leshrac, they targeted Enigma. Obviously, Ivy showed that that's not all they're about. So do you now have to start thinking about targeting Brood again in the drafting phase to make sure that you have that covered?
Depends on their priority. I would say that their first 2 picks are totally fine with the DP clock. If the enemy team takes Brood in the first phase, you can respond to it. I do think that they forgot about it in the second phase, and that can happen. But even just putting the draft aside, they need to play with their strong heroes. Your Dota game becomes a lot easier for you to play and to understand when you go with the mindset, I want to use my strong heroes and go with them to make plays so that my weaker heroes, which in the last game would be the Nature's Prophet, that he can farm. But they didn't really do that, and at the same time they played into the strongest enemy hero all the time of Broodmother, and that makes the game pretty hard. So instead, I want them to use your strong heroes, go together, play Dota, you're good.
And you, T, last game you were mentioning that you want to see them play something a bit more proactive, so they're not always stuck responding to what Ivy is bringing to the table. Which heroes have you seen leap out at you from the heroes that they've picked up? They have picked pretty much everything. They are still the most diverse team in our DPC tour so far. Is there anything that you've seen from them that you're like, that's probably a good gotcha pick to utilize against the side of Ivy?
I'm looking through their wins recently, at least, and it's like Pangoline's been prevalent, Leshrac's been prevalent, and I don't really think I want to see Pangolier, so I'm scared to say it. And it's like, I don't think Leshrac's going to be let through in this series just because of how good of a team Ivy's on it. So if you just look at just raw data of when Ancient Tribe have been winning, those heroes just aren't going to be in this series. So Ancient Tribe really need to dig a bit deeper. And I think outside of heroes, it really is just the mindset. Like I just feel like this team just hasn't had the conviction that I've seen when in these individual players on different teams, super aggressive. But for some reason, when they've merged together, there's like some fear or some disconnect in how to be aggressive. And watching them, it feels so bad because it's like, when I see Lil Pleb, I think of this like super aggro drow player, MTD, like some Zeus lad or some like Batrider-esque dude who's in your face.
Jumping in.
Melez, like the most, over the top charismatic offlaner, And then it's like, but where are they? Like I just keep asking myself after every game I watch. It's like, it's sad to see, unfortunately.
That's actually a very good point, Kezu. What do you think it is that leads to them playing so conservatively when they're together? Because when they're apart, everybody's always trying to push the envelope. But you would imagine that this team should be playing way faster than anybody around them, but that's just not happening. What do you think is happening internal to the team that's causing these issues to come to the forefront?
Might be that people are just not, I don't know, feeling comfortable / confident. Perhaps someone just needs to man up and be like, yo guys, let's go here, let's do this. Because I would agree with T, it just looks very reactionary. And especially when you have heroes where you can do something, it's as easy as waiting for your spells, waiting for a timing, putting lanes in a good position, you press smoke, and then one guy says where you go and what you want to do. It can be as easy as starting with that, and if they do that, maybe that can just get the ball rolling.
Well, speaking of balls rolling, we have a draft on our hands, and we also have a rolling ball banned out immediately by the side of Ivy. So Melez not going to be allowed to play his Riki, and this is very peculiar. So they ban out the Riki Maru on the side of Ivy. But what's interesting to me here, T, is that now Ancient Tribe have been conditioned by the previous game. They left the Enigma and the Leshrac in the pool. Ivy, just take it immediately.
I think he's doing the tactic of crushed up crisps inside a chip bag with a spoon so he doesn't get his fingers dirty for his competitive game.
Okay, I've never seen that, and I respect it.
I had to quickly analyze it as I was looking at it. I was like, so I think he's got the bag, he's crushed it all up. That's actually just some five head stuff, to be fair. I mean, there's also people who eat Doritos with chopsticks, which is also pretty hype, just to not get your fingers dirty. So
we heard in NA that Saber like eat his rolls in the shower, which is very bizarre and very strange.
Move on
eating
from that
habits,
topic real quick. Jesus.
Eating habits in Dota players not only is the most salient thing, not only is the most things that make the most sense. Does this draft make sense to you? The order of picks here for the side of Ancient Tribe, Kezu. Do you like the Leshrac with this clockwork? A combination we've seen time and time again here in Division 2.
I mean, Lesh Clock is good together. If you combine it properly down the road, it can be fine against Enigma because you're a high HP hero with the spell Lifesteal, which isn't always the easiest to bring down. But most importantly, it's just a hero that they play very well. So for their own comfort, I do like it quite a bit, and I would say that this is an opening where both teams should be happy and pretty chill moving forward.
The Owned Me Enigma should be back in action, and Cube, after that game 1, I think like you just keep him on Tiny whenever you can. It is a bit atypical though, T. Like, what do you make of this 5-position Tiny? Pretty much they're the only team that does it regularly. Do you prefer this over the 4-position Tiny, or is it like just some special tech that Ivy themselves have mastered that allow them to go for this off-kilter pick?
I mean, Cube's the 4 player, so I think they're not doing it in 5, right?
Isn't Cube the 5?
Yeah.
No, Cube's the 4 boss. JMN's the 4.
My bad.
No,
He has too much impact, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's too strong. He's too strong. No, but Cube is like the assassin player, and love to see him on these heroes. Moving on, I think it's like Moby hasn't actually played Tiny in this DPC tour at least, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's still an option. And in regards to draft, and we're mentioning the heroes that had success for Ancient Tribe, like I was mentioning Leshrac, I'm honestly surprised that this has been able to get through. I think Ancient Tribe, we're mentioning they need to be aggressive. You look at these first 3 heroes, it screams decently good, like decent lanes, robust lanes, and the need to go and find the fight. And that's where Ivy, they can potentially play into that. They can continue to concede a little bit of the map, play a bit more defensive, and then, they'll be in a good spot.
Let's go.
Some JMN Chen. All right, that's pretty hype, to be fair.
Some Chen. I don't really see this all that much. This should be one of the first Chens that we've had so far in the DPC. No, we've had one before.
One of the
here
first,
in Division 2. Yeah. And last time it was played by JMN. This was in their first series against the side of Manaspa, and he won against Manaspa with this one. So you were hyped to see it, Kezu. What do you like about this Chen in this game? What does it provide the rest of Ivy so far?
I feel that Ivy are one of the few Division 2 teams that really value... I mean, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but they often have like a lot of auras, damage mitigation, and heals against drafts that are semi-low damage. Whoa. And they play this Chen very well. I also like the Chen-Luna combo. It's just like... It's a solid lane, you have more auras, you can run down towers. They play very well with each other. Chen is also not the best laner. Luna covers that. Luna covers that very well. So it's very good against the first 3 heroes of Ancient Tribe. I would say that this Medusa is pretty good against the 4 heroes, but it can get run over.
Yeah, building on Kezu's thing about auras, the cool thing as well is like when you have Chen Enigma, Chen is the one that now goes Mech Greaves, plus rather than going for the big creeps, you go for the small creeps that also provide additional auras. And then Enigma can change up his build, so he can potentially go for, let's say, like Wraith Pact Pipe. And now when you think about like the 25-minute mark, you're not just going with 2, you're going with 3 plus the neutral creep. So I don't know, it's so overwhelming. And that's why I'm a little bit afraid for this Medusa. I think we've seen Ancient Tribe attempt a Medusa strategy before, and it just fell a little bit flat because they just weren't able to protect the map well enough. Actually, no, I take that back. They actually did win that game. It was an uncomfortable game because they did get pressured in the early game, and they relied on just comeback. Exactly, yeah.
That's a
but
comeback.
like, I don't know if you can come back in these types of games when Ivy drafts so push orientated, because now for the D push for Tribe, they don't really have any. It's like a Fade Bolt from Rubik, some like Clock who has to just sacrifice his body, and some like less spells, but there isn't that like innate tower defender. The Tides, the Primal Beast, for example, that Ivy's banning out. Like Ancient Tribe really need their offlane pick to be some hold them off for as long as possible. Like scream to Medusa, don't worry, I'll do this. You farm me that butterfly, satanic butt and all that stuff. So it's a lot of pressure on Melas right now to stall out this game. I think.
one of the reasons Kezo, that they were able to stall out that game when they played up against Team Bald to get to the late game portion is that they were playing against a mid-wind ranger and a safe lane Bloodseeker, and they had for themselves Leshrac, Medusa, and Enigma. So they had certainty for scaling into the late game. This game, that certainty certainly does not exist. So if your melee is in this situation, what do you want as to help them out? But before that, what should Ivy go for here to put into the mid lane? What are we going to be having played by Mobe on the 23 pick?
When I see Lesh Medusa for mid, I think of like Pangos and Kunkas. Pangos obviously banned. I think Kunka is pretty chill. You have like the second guy who gives some semi-catch, more damage reduction with the bolt, should lane well into the Lesh. Can semi-walk over to the Medusa and like pressure? Because right now if you look at the Ancient Tribe lineup, they really rely on this Medusa eventually coming online. So if you can have a hero that can offset this a little bit, maybe help the Enigma to kick the Medusa out, to slow that game down and lane well against the Lesh, I think that's what they should be looking for. And yeah, my go-to would be the Pirate Man.
Kunka. We'll see if the Pirate Man does emerge here from this mid lane. For Ivy, the drafts feels like they have a little bit of everything for themselves. Ancient Tribes still need a nice big answer. Who wins in the ultra late game here, T? Because I'm looking at this Ancient Tribe draft, and it feels like they naturally want to be able to take their time to scale up. I don't think they want to end the game at like 25, 30 minutes by any stretch of imagination. So what do you think they still need to help them get to the point where this Medusa does indeed take over, like Kezu was mentioning?
It's honestly kind of hard, because when you think about the beefy offlaners, Luna naturally is picked to deal with that quite nicely. So you've got these, like Tidehunter, for example, Luna does really well. Centaur, Mars, Luna does really well. So this natural hero that you want to enable the draft is not going to be the best in lane. And now if you concede your off lane and you concede your Medusa lane, which in theory should be happening a little bit, it's a rough one. So I'm still trying to rack my brain to find what that hero is going to be. And for Ivy, like another option they could go for is some Quap type hero.
Yeah, I can see Quap
super
too.
Aggro. You don't really care about the rotations from supports mid. You invade the jungle really nicely to continue shutting down Medusa. Like Chen can help you when Lesh gets aggressive. So yeah, I honestly think like Quap seems pretty good for Ivy.
Yeah, I would agree. I like both those picks a lot. Queen is very nice. If they want to play a bit more aggressive, I think Quap is your go-to. I've seen this matchup with Queen Lesh, and I feel like it should be Queen favored, but last time I saw it, Lesh did better than I thought. But overall, I think Queen would be very banger for Ivy as well.
Yeah, an absolute banger. Oh, there you go.
All right, put those fire emojis in chat, everybody, if you want to see this Queen of Pain being picked up by Mobe. And it still has a little bit of time here. They've had a lot of reserve time in the bank. Relative to Ancient Tribe, only have like 18 seconds left. They have 1:18, so a lot of time to consider where they want to go. Do they have space to maybe go back for the Mobe Park that they had in game number 1?
Yeah, I mean, I can see it working for sure. Like, when there's no clean lockdown and tower siege, Puck happily thrive. So, yeah, I can see that being an option too. You just want to centralize the fight. Kind of the same concept as Quap, just probably more meta.
Yeah, I would prefer something that's slightly more like in your face. Like Puck is a very like chill hero. I would say he does similar things to Queen, but I feel like in this game Queen would do it faster and in like a more aggressive manner, which is something that would help the Tiny play his game a lot easier. But they're taking their damn time. Just don't pick OD and we're good, my friends.
3,
Pick
2,
OD.
1, OD.
Come on, let's go. Give us the Outworld Devourer. Not something that we've seen have that
Game
much
3.
success, but, you know. we had similar reservations about the Pio Morana, and yet that ended up working out, even if it wasn't necessarily due to the kitty herself. They're really taking their time with this one, though. I mean, you have reserve time. Why waste it, right? Going to be talking about the next game as well throughout this entire stage. And it is going to be an Ember Spirit. Okay. All right, some young Ember. Doesn't necessarily fit the same mold as the Puck and the Queen of Pain, but it does get in heroes' faces, Kezu. And there's an immediate Centaur on the side of Ancient Tribe. Okay, so melee Centaur, some disengage available for them. What do you think here? Would you have picked Centaur in this particular position as the 24 pick, Kezu?
I guess it's kind of chill. You're going to get this Vanguard and like tank, but I do think there's a couple things that you don't enjoy playing into. There's like a lot of random stuff, some chains, midnight pulls. I think it's all right. I'm a bit more surprised about the Ember pick simply because I think that Lesh just has like he should have a pretty good matchup. I'm pretty sure that this is a Lesh favored lane. But I still believe that this game, eventually Ancient Tribe will run into a damage problem, and it will be too late for the DOTA to be online.
Tigav, how do you feel about this? Last pick on the Ember Spirit, a little bit of an off-kilter pick. We don't always see this hero, especially 23rd. We often see him in the second phase. How do you think he's going to fare here? We know the laning phase might be a bit tough, but does he gel overall with what the lineup has brought to the table on the side of Ivy?
Yeah, it's a hero that can basically live in the enemy jungle and just poke around and annoy them. So that's exactly what Medusa doesn't want to play into. And so I can see why they went for the Ember. And I think, if anything, Chen's going to be the key hero that will prevent Centaur Rubik being a strong aggro lane and secure Luna farm. And then you'll have Chen enabling Ember to offset the Leshrac. So I'm basically looking at Chen to connect the dots, and then they should be able to run over the greediness and the lack of damage that Kezi was mentioning in Ancient Tribe's lineup.
We're going to be seeing whether or not Ivy has what it takes here to utilize this pretty beautiful draft if it works out. Everything has to come together, some original ideas, but if these ideas work, they will look so good. We'll find out if that's going to be the case with an original Pixel and a faithless Fogged. Gentlemen, take it away with game number 2.
Thank you very much, Snare. Yes, looking forward to game 2 and looking forward to see if Ancient Tribe can give it a bit of a closer fight. They had a rough game 1, Fogged. Looking at their draft coming into this game 2 against what Ivy has, are you a bit more hopeful, or do you think they could run into sort of similar issues that they had in game 1 against Ivy?
They might run into just pacing. I think Ivy's got a really fast-paced draft, and it's a similar kind of style of that they can kind of dominate the map really early with this Enigma pressure. It looks easier to play, I would say, at least this time around from Ancient Tribe. I didn't even mind their draft last time. They just had no synergy. This one kind of has built-in synergy, I would say, where it's just like the Rubik Centaur is very straightforward, how you gank. Clockwork plus Medusa making space, but I'm worried that the Little Pleb's just not going to get the time to build a farm on the map. I think they're probably going to shrink it on Ivy, because Ivy, when they play their Chen, they're very oppressive, and when Onmi's playing as Enigma, I mean, this is like their most comfortable heroes, I feel like.
I mean, it really is. Yeah, for those three, I feel in particular. I mean, we've got 2 Grandmasters. Jan Vincenzo Chen, this is his best hero. Coupon the Tiny, it's pretty much his best hero.
Yeah.
And yeah, you say Onmi on the Enigma. I think this is sort of the off-lane pick that he'll go to pretty much anytime he's sort of left in the pool. So it's going to be interesting for Ancient Tribe to see how they do against this, because as you say, whilst last game Ancient Tribe's draft looked good, I think this game, in terms of what Ivy have been allowed to pick, I think Ivy's draft looks pretty scary, and Ivy's play last game was very good. So if they're able to sort of keep that level that they brought with the play in game 1 with these heroes that they're even more comfortable on, this could be a tougher match for Ancient Tribe than the first one was.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. I'm going to be looking to see how the Luna ends up doing, but I think it should be a pretty good lane with the Chen backing him up. We used to see this lane a lot when Chen was picked by more teams. That being said, though, they look like they're probably going to try to set up a first blood with that deep ward they have. But there's also a deep ward, or a defensive ward coming out from Ivy, so they're prepared to defend their Luna. Did they block multiple camps? I believe that sentry, isn't it? It is, yeah. Okay, so multiple camps being blocked out, so they've played versus this Chen before. I think most teams that have played versus Ivy know this. But he'll find the ward, he knows too. So he's also experienced, of course, versus these guys.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not quite sure on the number of... I should probably have a look how many games of Chen he's played, but obviously get Grandmaster. It's a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, I mean, he plays it in pubs. He enjoys this hero. That says a lot about him, man.
I mean, because are any other teams really playing Chen at the pro level in DPCs?
I think we saw Puppey play it one game, if I'm not mistaken, in Div 1. I don't think I saw it at all besides that. I think I saw Saberlight playing it as offlane in pubs. I think that was just pubs, though.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, I can check, but I don't think it's specialists that like the hero, but it's more teams that really enjoy playing with it. So we'll see how they end up doing with it. Looks like a pretty good game for it. We'll see if Rubik's able to do any fun type of plays where he gets some fun spell steals and has his own army or whatever. Always some fun potential for Rubik versus Chen.
Yeah, I mean, if they do get off to a good start, they're going to have such a good push.
Yeah.
I mean, how good is sort of Ancient Tribe's lineup for clearing through all these Eidolons, the Chen army, the push of the, stopping the push of the Luna?
I mean, they have okay spam, but they have to be set up for it. The Rubik and the Lesh probably to set up, and they might just get poked. I think that might be why they set up to go for December. As LeBron might just be dead down. Nah, he's got Fairy Fire. He's okay. Takes half the amount of damage. He has to be careful. He got tossed under tower a lot last game, too. Cube always looking for those plays. Especially with Enigma, it's always that much easier. That's why we used to... This was literally like the most popular comp for a long time. Just the Tiny plus Enigma, the first 2 picks. These constant toss-back plays. Very annoying.
Well, let's see. I mean, last game, you know, from Ancient Tribe, was there sort of, you know, out of sort of their players, do you think there was someone that needed to sort of take the lead that wasn't able to in that game? And then when you consider what they're on this time round, are they going to have as much trouble as they did in that first game to sort of get those fights started, or will it be easier?
I mean, I do think so. I've always, when I've watched this team, I'm always like... You know, not to put him like hate or anything like that, but I look at melees, and a lot of the times like he's the one that's supposed to be like leading the charge, and sometimes he's just showing on the map a lot. So I think for me it was last game the Mars where he needed to have full attention of always looking for plays. I think it's again, honestly, it's on the Centaur this game to be constantly looking for these aggressive plays. So pressure on melees.
Well, let's see, so far in the lane, not having an easy time.
No, this is not an easy lane for Centaur. Even though he's got Rubik, one of the best 4 positions in the game at the moment. They know how to play this lane. You know, JM, he's master of the Chen for a reason.
We'll see. I mean, and again, I guess in terms of sort of what the Lesh is going to be doing, you know, MTD from the mid, it's not really like he's going to be turning up in any side lanes very early, right? He's sort of more about just pushing that mid lane out and getting some early pressure onto the tier 1 mid. So the side lanes... Oh. Okay. They can run down Cube. LeBron in with the battery assault, but Avalanche is up, so Cube will be able to get back onto the safety of the tower. He's fine.
Yeah, I think MTD might actually have to look to make like early moves and stuff like that. So, yeah. But yeah, it's not really easy, and he can get killed in these lanes very, very easy if he overcommits. You know, a TP from the Ember comes in, the overwhelming physical and shit. So all the different stuff that's going to be put on the floor as well too from the Enigma, not easy. And it's just, yeah, I mean, ganking these side lanes is just very risky. You go for the top. You probably can't gank the Enigma ever, and going for the Luna lane is just... It's a deep dive, and it's going to depend on how well the Centaur does.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now a few levels are in. Should have that extra bit of beef and chance to stay up to the wave.
Yeah,
I can only imagine it gets kind of harder for the Chen and the Luna to bully out the Centaur once a few levels come in this lane.
Yeah, decent amount. I mean, there's always a lot of damage. You know, it's very deceptive. Luna does a ton, and you do buff up the Chen a lot too with Penitence. But yeah, he should be okay on Melis to stick down here. I mean, Tiny can rotate though. Cube can always make early rotations to gank him.
What do we expect to see from Lunas nowadays with the skill build? How many points are you putting in the beam? Are you leaving it at 2, or you're maxing it? Like, when do you start scaling into the glaives to prepare for jungle and such?
I think after this point. I think 202 is good for lane, and then you just start. You're going to opt to max glaives out. Maybe get a point in Eclipse if you see like opportunity. But you can even skip Eclipse if you just end up sitting in jungle. But yeah, I think 202 is really nice. Now everybody on the side lanes also, since we have nighttime, you now have Ember Spirit with plus 14 damage. You have Enigma with 14 damage and Tiny as well too. So I don't think it's too necessary to put that many more points afterwards in the Blessing. And I did not expect this, but the mid matchup, I mean, even on gold, but on MOBA is actually doing a little bit better than MTD, which I usually see the Lash do a little bit better at least. Interesting. Cute. He'll be alright.
Yeah, I mean, the Cute Tiny last game really was popping off, and already they struggle to sort of zone him out. You know, he's very good at trading in the lane. Very hard to sort of catch him, even as a clock. Because Cute knows the limits perfectly of this hero.
Lift onto the Chen. Jam's in trouble.
Through Jam Vincenzo. They can. But not before Mobile was able to take down Heaven. So first blood, 6 minutes in, a very late one. Does still go the way of Ivy. As they weren't quite able to kill JM quicker. So more money for Mobile in this mid lane as the Ember.
Yep, and he's got the power rune as well too, so he can continue himself onto MTD. And during all this as well too, always have to factor in that Enigma is denying a ton of creeps. So you see the network from Medusa really being affected during every single one of these moments. And now top, they've got Arcane Boots finished. So now they can constantly just throw an Avatos combo, put somebody low, and then potentially get a kill on the secondary.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, Cube's going to be ready to run in and get the toss back if he sees a chance.
Yeah. Like LeBron, he's a bit low HP here. They've got a combo.
Oh, he's dead.
I think he's dead.
Oh, one hit.
Oh,